And he began to laugh again, and that so heartily, that thought I did not see the joke as he did. I was again obliged to join him in his mirth. On our little walk along the quays, he made himself the most interesting companion, telling me about the different ships that we passed by, their rig, tonnage, and nationality, explaining the work that was going forward, how one was discharging, another taking in cargo, and a third making ready for sea. And every now and then telling me some little anecdote of ships or seamen or repeating a nautical phrase till I had learned it perfectly. I began to see that he was one of the best of the possible shipmates. When we got to the inn, the squire and Dr. Livesey were seated together, finishing a quart of ale with a toast in it, before they should go aboard the schooner on a visit of inspection. Long John told the story from first to last, with a great deal of spirit and the most perfect truth. That was how it were now, weren't it, Hawkins? He would say now and again, and I could always bear him entirely out. The two gentlemen regretted that Black Dog had got away, but we all agreed that there was nothing to be done, and after we had been complimented, Long John took up his crutch and departed. All hands aboard by 4 this afternoon, shouted the squire after him. Aye, aye, sir, cried the cook in the passage. Well, squire, said Dr. Livesey, I don't put much faith in your discoveries, as a general thing. But I will say this, John Silver suits me. The man's a perfect trump, declared the squire. And now, added the doctor, Jim may come on board with us, may he not? To be sure he may, said Squire. Take your hat, Hawkins. We will see the ship. 9. Powder and arms. The Hispaniola lay some way out, and we went under the figurehead and round the sterns of many other ships, and their cables sometimes grated underneath our keel, and sometimes swung above us. At last, however, we got alongside and were met and saluted as we stepped aboard by the mate, Mr. Arrow, a brown old sailor with earrings in his ears and a squint. He and the squire were very thick and friendly, but I soon observed that things were not same between Mr. Trelawney and the captain. This was a sharp-looking man who seemed angry with everything on board, and was soon to tell us why, for we had hardly got down into the cabin when a sailor followed us. Captain Smollett, sir, accent to speak with you, said he. I'm always at the captain's orders. Show him in, said the squire. The captain, who was close behind his messenger, entered at once and shut the door behind him. Well, Captain Smollett, what have you to say? As well, I hope, old ship shape and seaworthy. Well, sir, said the captain, but I speak plain, I believe, even at the risk of offense. I don't like the screws, I don't like the man, and I don't like my officer. That's shortest and sweet. Perhaps, sir, you don't like the ship, inquired the squire, very angrily, as I could see. I can't speak as to that, sir, not having seen her try it, said the captain. She seems a clever craft, more I can't say. Possibly, sir, you may not like your employer either, said the squire. But here Dr. Livesey cut in. Stay a bit, said he, stay a bit. No use of such questions as that but to produce ill feeling. The captain has said too much, or he has said too little, and I am bound to say that I require an explanation of his words. You don't, you say, like the crews. Now why? I was engaged, sir, on what we call sealed orders, to sail this ship for the gentleman where he should bid me, said the captain. So far, so good. But now I find that every man before mast knows more than I do. I don't call that fair, now, do you? No, said Dr. Livesey, I don't. Next, said the captain, I learn we are going after treasure. Hear it from my own hands, mind you. Now, treasure is a ticklish word. I don't like the treasure voyages on any account, and I don't like them above all, where they are secret and begging your pardon, Mr. Trellaway, the secret has been told to the parrot. Silver's parrot? Asked the squire. It's a way of speaking, said the captain. Blabbed Amin. It's my belief neither of you gentlemen know what you are about, but I'll tell you my way of it. Life or death, and a close run. That is all clear, and I dare say true enough, replied Dr. Livesey. We take the risk, but we are not so ignorant as you believe us. Next, you say we don't like the crew. Are they not good seamen? I don't like them, sir, returned Captain Smollett, and I think I should have had the choosing of my own hands, if you go to that. Perhaps you should, replied the doctor. My friend should, perhaps, have taken you along with him, but the slide, if there be done, was unintentional. And you don't like Mr. Arrow? I don't, sir. I believe he's a good seaman, but he's too free with the crew to be a good officer. A mate should keep himself to himself, shouldn't drink with the men before the mast. Do you mean he drinks? Cried the squire. No, sir, replied the captain, only that he is too familiar. Well now, and the short and long of it, captain, asked the doctor. Tell us what you want. Well, gentlemen, you are determined to go on this cruise like iron, answered the squire. Very good, said the captain. Then, as you've heard me very patiently saying that I could not prove, hear me a few words more. They are putting the powder and the arms in the forehold. Now, you have a good place under the cabin. Why not put them there? First point. Then you are bringing 4 of your own people with you, and they tell me some of them are berthed forward. Why not give them the berth here beside the captain? Second point. Any more? Asked Mr. Trellaway. One more. There's been too much blabbing already. Far too much, agreed the doctor. I'll tell you what I've heard myself, continued Captain Smollett, that you have a map of an island, that there are crosses on the map to show where the treasure is, and the island dies, and he named the latitude and longitude exactly. I never told that, cried the squire. It was so. The hands know it, sir, returned the captain. Livesey, you must be you or the hooker. It doesn't much matter who it was, replied the doctor, and I could see that neither he nor the captain paid much regard to Mr. Trellaway's protestations. Neither did I, to be sure. He was so loose a talker, yet in this case I believe he was really right, and nobody had told the situation of the island. Well, gentlemen, continued the captain, I don't know who has the map, but I make it a point. It shall be kept secret even from me and Mr. Arrow. Otherwise, I would ask you to let me resign. I see, said the doctor. You wish us to keep this matter dark, and to make a garrison of the stern part of the ship, manned with my friend's own people, and provided with all the arms and powder on board. In other words, you fear a mutiny. Sir, said Captain Smollett, with no intention to make offense, I deny your right to put words into my mouth. No captain, sir, would be justified in going to sea at all if he had ground enough to say that. As for Mr. Arrow, I believe him thoroughly honest. Some of the men are the same. All may be for what I know, but I am responsible for the ship's safety and the life of every man jack aboard of her. I see things going, as I think, not quite right, and I ask you to take certain precautions, or let me resign my berth. And that's all. Captain Smollett began the doctor with a smile. Did ever you hear the fable of the mountain and the mouse? Will you excuse me, I dare say, but you remind me of that fable. When you came in, you staked my wig. You meant more than this. Doctor, said the captain, you are smart. When I came in here, I meant to get discharged. I had no thought that Mr. Trellaway would hear a word. No more I would, cried the squire. Had Livesey not been here, I should have seen you to the deuce. As it is, I've heard you. I will do as you desire, but I think the worse of you. That's as you please, sir, said the captain. You'll find it I do my duty. And with that he took his leave. Truly nay, said the doctor. Contrary to all my notions, I believe you have managed to get two honest men on board with you, that man and John Silver. Silver, if you like, cried the squire. But as for that intolerable humbug, I declare I think his conduct unmanly, unsailorly, and downright un-English. Well, says the doctor, we shall see.